businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on PlusTvAfrica.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osayiwa Mesale, and today I'm joined by my amazing co-anchors. We have Malola, Isi, Elsie. How you girls doing?
Wonderful.
It's fine, thank you.
I had to hijack you here. Let me start with you. How was your day?
It was good.
How was the traffic?
The traffic could have been avoided because it was all due to bad road. And for some reason we just found ourselves stuck in traffic because of one bad spot, just one tiny little bad spot. So everybody's trying to navigate around it and get to the wherever they are going to. So it's bad. If only Lagos state government will fix all the roads we have, we'll be very happy.
They're working on it. How do you know that? You got the memo. I don't know working.
So someone decided to flaunt her natural hair for us today.
Okay.
Because she knows it's long.
Elsie.
How are you, Elsie?
I'm fine, thank you. It's Elsie Godwin. Goodness.
She likes it when you call both names together.
Anyone, I can take
I'm
it like that.
well. Thank you. If you say one, I'll add the second one so it will be complete. Simple and short. But yeah, I'm good. I'm well.
How was your day?
Good. Not so stressful. Really good.
I want white money.
No,
how are you doing?
don't call white money.
Huh?
Good.
I'm loving my dress.
I know, right? Why
I'm looking so gorgeous
There's
tonight.
nothing not to love about you.
Why do you like to hype yourself?
Because I love what I do.
Because she made the dress, and that's the reason why.
And I love it when I see my work on people and it looks good.
Oh my God!
Of course.
It's one thing for me to wear it and think it's good, but when I see it on other people, it validates my
the thing about
beautiful.
the dresses is that there is no single one piece that have tried to zip that is not a perfect. How did you get it, Biko? Or is my body a witch body? Which one?
You have a great body. Let's give that to you.
Oh, thank you.
But aside of that, I'm constant with women body as a woman. So when I make garment, I make it with a mindset that how do I want it to look?
To look on her.
So I take note of the extra folds, extra flesh, the extra ham that Nigerian women carries, and we usually have a good retention of customers because we do a good job.
That's nice. I think it's really good because that's one of the things that puts me off when I want to get a dress from people. And they ask me, what is your size? I say, I'm a size 8. And start asking me jam questions, send your measurements. I'm like, if I go to a boutique and want to get a cloth and say size 8 and they give it to me, sizes me. So why do I need to go the extra mile?
No, you have
to
take a measurement.
When somebody tells me their
if
size,
it doesn't work, then you are not supposed to be making clothes for me. Simple and short.
No, actually, it's not enough.
For me, that's what
it's not
works
enough
for me.
Because many of the people you're dealing with are faceless entities, particularly in the social media space. So some women don't even know their sizes. They go, I'm a size 10, and when they send a picture or send their measurement, you find a totally different
size
story.
12.
So you are saying that for the women that are unsure, she's sure of her size.
Sure. So if I tell you I'm a size 8.
Even at that, there are standard measurements, but there is still a little adjustment you make here and there to tolerate the fact that we're not an ideal white folk. Our body structure is
But when I
different.
buy a white folk size 8, it works for me. That's what I'm
depends
saying.
on the fabric. For the kind of fabric we work with, they are not as stretchy, so they don't accommodate the extra fold. You can get away with the spandex, with a garment that has polyester, but with cotton, you can't. So you need a bit
It has to
more
be a perfect fit. I mean, this was a perfect fit. I just zip and say,
I guess you're trying to defend your people because as far as I'm concerned, if I give you size, you do not get my cloth, you will not get cloth from me again. Simple as short.
We'd love to try you out in our store.
All right, so today we are discussing, it's a good day. We are discussing issues around the striking doctors and also what we found. We saw a picture about ranching. And here's what we found as today's quote, right? The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but schedule your priorities. I mean, this is very key for me because every single time it seems like our government do not know how to prioritize and what to prioritize. And, you know, you're supposed to put it like in a table, you know, and say, okay, this is what is pressing at the moment. So how do we, because even you as a human being, you would put priority where priority lies. All right, so the Nigerian government approved about 658 million for the deployment of, wait for it, sniffer dogs at the Lagos-Abuja International Airport. Now, the governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari, confirmed that the state had received about 6.25 billion from the federal government for ranch development and for ranch development projects. Meanwhile, there has been an ongoing strike of resident doctors for 3 weeks now, causing Nigerian citizens pain and untold suffering. So it's our ladies' night out, and Elsie, EC, Milola, and I are asking, where should our priorities lie as a people? And when we open our phone lines, we'd really love to hear what you have to say. But first, we'll take a break to see what we found in the news.
Contrary to popular belief, corona is not a hoax. The virus is real. Be responsible. Wear a mask. Wash your hands with soap and water and avoid crowded places. Maintain physical distancing. Be responsible. Together, we can overcome the pandemic.
Welcome to The Breakfast.
A breakfast where we unbundle top and big stories of the day.
Is vaccine the only way out of this pandemic?
No, definitely not.
Many Ghanaians just want a peaceful election and they are hoping there will be no rigging.
There is nothing bad in borrowing for infrastructure. The minister added that he was impressed.
Please come and see yourself what we are doing with the money we are borrowing.
It's very important. The way we brand ourselves is the way people will carry us.
It's just the driver of the two vehicles that were completely bought. This one was here screaming.
What?
You're still watching Ways. Now, for those who have a tendency to lean towards unique and bizarre, this one day, it will feed that strange musical soul. International Strange Music Day pulls out all the stops when it comes to going beyond the normal and opening up to a world with new horizons. When it comes to strange part, this can mean either unfamiliar or bizarre or both. The choice is entirely personal and up to the individual. In either case, International Strange Music Day is meant to expand the ear towards new sounds for those who are musically or musical, as well as those who do not consider themselves to be. This day is for everyone, whether listening or playing. Celebrating International Music Day offers a myriad of opportunities to enjoy music and open up minds to new ideas. This is a fantastic holiday because I actually just paid about 2 weeks ago, paid for a musical, for musical notes online that helps to put you in different states of the mind. So there's one that calms you to go to sleep. There's one that helps you open your minds for possibilities and opportunities. So you know all those people that have like limiting mindset, it breaks that your conscious resistance and take you to a realm where you're able to just see and envision.
Be careful
so, and I
that you don't
see
get
that.
hypnotized.
Forget it, not be hypnotized. You know, because I see it's really working because
Yes,
I am so, these days I'm very, very, no matter what negative thing come my way, you know they near me at all.
Is hypnotism?
Yeah, it is. So I listen to it every morning, close my eyes on my bed. So this is a good holiday for those, especially if you're going through anxiety, this can actually help you.
For those kind of notes you're talking about, you download synchronization. It's an app. Beautiful. It's mesmerizing. You know, sometimes you need to get away from yourself and just float. And those are the kind of notes that take you there. So I can relate with those kind of strange
I will download this one that you said.
You should. You would love it. When you take it to bed, especially with an AirPod in your ear, and you listen, it's like a fresh water.
It locks you, yes. On you. So you hear the sounds of nature. It locks you out of your environment.
Download it.
Bishop saying people should not be wearing AirPods.
That's another one.
Well, actually, that bishop was talking about me, because in church, when sleep is worrying me.
Don't expose yourself.
I beg you, they can't catch me. It's God.
All of them, yeah. Well, for me, music is not just about the notes. It's about how it makes you feel. So whether it be it strange, be it rhythm and blues, be it techno, be it different genres, basically.
I think that's why
so long as
it's individual, you have to decide what
so
is
long as
it
makes me happy, and I'm a lover of music, whatever genre. But the key thing is it has to speak to me. So
that's it.
That's it.
Okay. While we're looking for the music that will speak to Issy, Elsie, Godwin, what did you find for us in the news?
So what I found, I don't even know if I think it's just a mention. So according to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, over 1,000 returning travelers from red-listed countries like India, South Africa, Brazil, and Turkey have absconded from isolation in Lagos State.
Abscondment?
Yes. Also, over 1,000 inbound passengers out of 88,847 tested positive between 8th of May and 21st of August. So he's basically trying to say that we should take this third wave very serious. As at June, our percentage in testing was 1.1% to every 100 tests carried out. But now it is 12.1% to every 100 testing positive. So we need to be serious.
I know
and they've recorded 135 deaths in this third wave.
I was listening over the radio, and I think the governor also mentioned that I think currently now they need about 400 oxygen, whatever. The demand for the oxygen oxygen in isolation centers around, it's gone like almost triple. So people need to really be careful about the third wave. Yeah, so Issy, your story quickly.
Okay, my story is about the Inspector General of Police. He said, the Inspector General of Police said that he wants his, the policemen actually to be more hopeful and alive over their salary increment, so they should keep hope alive. Basically, that's what he was trying to say to them. He said this. The IGP's name is Akali Usman, and he pleaded with the policemen to be patient as the proposed salary increment promised by President Muhammadu Buhari will soon be realized.
Hallelujah.
But I would just
you
say
keep
this,
your
it's
take.
just a question. Okay.
No, I want you to keep it because it's part of what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Abinobi, so what do you prioritize?
It is part of it.
Damn your story.
What I found in the news is on Premium Times, and the headline is from the Nigerian Defense Academy. How gunmen attacked, killed, abducted officers. I'm like, okay. The Nigerian Army has confirmed the killing of 2 of its officers and abduction of a senior officer at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Afaka, Kaduna State. A statement by the Academy spokesperson, Bashir Jajira, a major, said unknown gunmen carried out the attack. Premium Times had reported how suspected bandits attacked the academy and perpetrated the act. According to witnesses, the bandits came in a large number in the early hours of today.
Yeah, at about 1 a.m. My mom,
I do not know how the military officers that are supposed to be protecting us are being attacked. So who watches over the watchman in this situation? I find it really bizarre that Nigerian Army would be attacked
if you know
in their
NDA,
academy.
NDA, and that's why a lot of people, my mom currently, I was saying the other day that she doesn't go through the Kaduna airports because on your way to the Kaduna State Airport. That's where you find the Nigerian Defense Academy. So NDA is a military school that has been there for years.
Since 2007.
All your military organs, everybody,
they all went
passed
through the school.
NDA. It's not just a joke. It's not a place where...
It's been open since February 2007.
Which one?
This particular one, this Apaka campus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is another one.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying that the structure for NDA...
for 2007 is not new. That's
the structure for the Nigerian Defense Academy, it's something that...
So long as it's a defense
academy. It's supposed to be sacrosanct, like a military academy.
Yes.
How can anybody get close?
I was saying to Issy that when I went to the US and I entered in San Antonio, I entered the defense, the military barracks. I felt like removing my civilian clothes and wearing the army uniform. So the things that are, there are different problems when it comes to Nigeria and our defense structure. To think that you have the effrontery, do you know what it means?
Exactly.
You know, during the crisis in Kaduna State, we actually run to the barracks for safety. We ran to the barracks to live in the barracks during. So how can you go into the barracks to go and abduct?
Even back in the days when they say, even back in the days, if you want to run away from anything that is happening around you,
just go into the barracks.
Go into the barracks.
You know, so my story is actually an interesting one. Governor Obaseki, quickly, because we ran out of time. Governor Obaseki is saying that going forward in Edo State from September, when now I've forgotten the date, mid-September, people will not be allowed to go into weddings, you'll not be allowed to go into banks, you have to present your COVID vaccine, what's it called, card. And I'm wondering in my head, Governor Obaseki, in states where, or countries where this kind of laws abound, they have excess vaccines that are available, that they are the ones begging the citizens to go and get vaccinated. Do we have, if we say now every single citizen in Edo State want to get vaccinated, are the vaccines available for them to be able to vaccinate?
Can I help you? First phase of vaccination in Edo State, they were only able to vaccinate 8,500 people. This one, what they received is
out of how many people?
76,712, and the population is 4.7 million.
What a joke.
So if he had stopped in saying he's banning large gatherings for church, events, I would understand, but why add banks? That is just
not even wait, what is even why
demand vaccination card when you do not have enough vaccines?
That's what I'm saying. So if he had stopped there, I would say, okay, he's trying to put some level of restriction for people to stay home without actually saying stay home, right? But if you're saying essential services like banking would also not be accessible, then there's a problem.
Makes sense.
Currently in France, for you to go to, because it has gotten to the state before, it is places like restaurants and all of that they had restrictions. But my sister that lives in France says that even currently now, for you to go into essential places like supermarket, pharmacy, you have to present your vaccine. But these are people that have excess of vaccine.
They have everything.
Like you're putting the cart before the horse. But you know what?
We've not talked about the fact that we have our beautiful 419 Yahoo boys, the fraudsters, who will be able to manufacture these cards and sell to them.
No, that one is available. That's available. Should not be card you want to see.
You go get them.
Wow.
We'll take a break.
Wow.
So today is our ladies' night out. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
$500 they collect them.
No talk.
They go beat you. Now 2005 when they pay.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, they received 6.25 billion from the federal government for ranch development project by the Katsina state government is intended to check clashes between farmers and herders, which have snowballed into banditry in states across Nigeria's northwest and north central regions. While they approved 658 million naira for the deployment of sniffer dogs at the Lagos and Abuja International Airport, is perhaps to checkmate drug peddlers. Now, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctor Presidents blamed the rapid migration of Nigerian medical professionals abroad on the poor treatment and the welfare in the health system. Speaking on the government's response to the doctors' demand, the minister had claimed that the majority of 12 demands had been met. On medical and life insurance for frontline doctors, the minister claimed that the government had released 9.3 billion naira for payment of premium. Now, he said many families of the 19 doctors that died from COVID-19 had been cleared for payment, and that the government only asked the National or Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to identify them on the list submitted to the government. But the NARD president described the minister's claim as false, noting that none of the 12 demands had been met. He said none of the families of the 19 doctors who died on the front line had received the life insurance benefit. On hazard allowance, Mr. Ngige, that's the minister, said about 37.5 billion had been released for all health workers, a claim countered by Mr. Uyi Lawal, that's the president of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, saying that money released is not money paid. Our question tonight is, where should our priority lie? And what is, this non-prioritizing of our health workers costing us as a nation? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. We're going to open our phone lines in the second half, but, just keep sending your messages if you have any. So, we took the story yesterday about the courts, telling the resident doctors to suspend. They should cool off and let everybody just calm down. You understand? And I am now wondering, we've had conversations on brain drain several times where it seems like anybody you corner. I was chatting with someone and she was physically livid, complaining that this thing she's done, like there was a time she had hopes and all of that, but she's tired. So many people she knows, they're going to the UK, they're going to Canada, they're going to the US. Like at this point, she's also already making plans to head out of the country.
Is she a doctor?
She's not a doctor. Okay. She's just a Nigerian citizen. But she has
another tired Nigerian.
She's tired, right? She's just tired. But let me come to you, Elsie. In terms of prioritizing, because this story about cattle, releasing 6.7 billion naira for ranching, and doctors are asking for some level, because part of what they're asking for is like what they said about the hazard, the allowances that were supposed to be paid, and all of that. These are valid things. Do you think our government understands what to prioritize at the time that we're in?
That's a big question. I don't think it's a prioritizing issue. This is my personal opinion. For me, what is governance? If you Google it or if you search for it, the definition would be a system by which entities are directed, are controlled. Governance is not supposed to be just for health workers, right? It's supposed to be all-encompassing. And when you read through the story of the release of the 6 points, whatever billion naira for ranching, it's one of the efforts they think is the right move for them to be able to check the clashes between the farmers and the herdsmen. And we know how many lives that as well has taken. So we cannot say it is
taking
not,
one over the other.
It's, yeah, we cannot say we have to take one over the other. What we need is governance, which is always responsive, and not just responsive to one part, but responsive to all. We cannot say, oh, don't sort herdsmen, because we have been shouting. The only difference now is we ask the question. I think we've had that session on the show when we were talking about the ranching and it being a business and all these monies that are being pumped into that place. Is it that it's going to be paid back? Are they going to make it back for the government, or are the governments just giving these people grants to start their businesses? That is the part I do not understand. But whatever they are doing there, we know it is important to solve the biggest issue that is going on there. However, I would be the first to say how the issues of the health workers have been treated in this country is very heartbreaking, like extremely heartbreaking, because again, of course, it will cause loss of lives, brain drainage. People are not able to carry out their duties as they will. And when you raise this conversation in some quarters, people will tell you it is immoral for a doctor to go on strike. No, to go on strike. And I'm wondering, how would you say it is immoral for a doctor to go on strike because they're supposed to be saving lives? How are they supposed to feed? How are they supposed to survive? They are the ones that pay one of the highest tuition in school, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? So they go through all that, spend the longest time, do their housemanship, or is it house officer, where they become the house officer, and then go to NYC as well. They spend way longer time, spend so much money, and you think that they just need to be saving your life because they are the angels that came down on earth without having... I was speaking to one of my friends. I mean, you talked about someone who just left the country, right? Or someone who's talking about people who are leaving the country. Most of my friends have actually left. She's one of them. She's a doctor in Nigeria here, but she left. She's now in the UK, and she was telling me that I don't know if you saw the news about them getting to the point where they don't want to pay house officers anymore because they think that they are in training, that they don't deserve to have a salary. And then the NYSC doctors as well, that they are not going to have a salary as well, that they will think of giving them an allowance. And these were people that were earning between 70K to 150,000 naira, depending on where you are posted, if you're state or federal. You know, those kind of differences were there, and you're saying you are taking it all away. And she was talking to me as well of what used to happen in this same Nigeria. About 20 to 30 years ago, these same people that are trying to tell you you do not deserve it are people who their generation came out of medical school, got a house, got a car because they were house officers and they were being valued. They were living in a country that were being valued. I don't like comparing Nigeria to other countries just for conversation's sake. But in this situation, I have to. Because I had to ask her, okay, so in the UK, for example, a house officer equivalent, what are they being paid? I said in a month they get paid as much as £2,500.
Yeah.
Please, if you want to convert that,
don't bother.
Do we even still want to have this conversation? Right?
Don't
so
bother.
It's heartbreaking. Their demands are genuine. They've lost, I think, about 19 doctors or medical professionals to COVID-19, and they do not have death in service insurance. So everything they're asking for is very valid. But like you say, when you see some areas being attended to, and then if you look at it on the face value and what it is and not think of it deeply, it makes you begin to wonder, do these people really care about us?
So that's why it brings me back, and I'll come to you, Isi, it brings me back to the priority. You understand? It's not like I'm saying that the ranching issues or the herder clashing, farmer clashing is also, I am a farmer. I know what we pay in terms of security just to secure the farm. I know how we also get the scares when we see herdsmen around the farm. So it's an issue. But as a farmer, it is a personal business. Do you understand? This issue of saving life should be, as far as I'm concerned, should be priority. But let me come to you, because if you are investing money to ranching, shouldn't we see that same ginger, passion towards the thing that would save hundreds of lives in Nigeria?
Millions.
Let me come to you, Isi.
For me, black and white, our government has not prioritized the life of every Nigerian in this country. Why? there are different issues that have come up. We have insecurity. We have breakdown in the health system. Look at the issue of the fact, okay, let's start with the fact that when the doctors were going on strike, that was when our president decided to travel out of the country. Not once, not twice. So why are we upset with the what's it called, the doctors? The doctors haven't done anything wrong. It is not immoral for them to go on strike. It is totally accountable. They can go on strike whenever they want to go on strike. Why? Because they have to feed their family. They have to take care of the loved ones. We have issues of, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said that in a in a department, all the specialists in that department, they all relocated to Saudi Arabia. All of them. Why? At once. Everybody in that department. So what happens to anyone that falls ill and goes to that, that needs the services of these doctors? Nothing. They are gone. So this is a case of when there is an agenda above, the grass actually suffers it. Whatever is happening up there, I really don't know much. But the key thing is this, that our priorities are misplaced.
Thank you.
Our government they've not represented us the way we wanted them to represent us in the first place.
Absolutely. So what's your experience like in government hospitals?
Myself?
Do you have any?
Oh, yes, I've had. I do not pray to be healed, and I do not pray to be healed and go to a general hospital, because you would see the level of rot in our system.
Yes.
And it's not just in the general hospitals. When we talk about prioritizing what's important and what's relevant in this country, it runs deeper. It's just because we have the strike, the doctors on strike to compare with the herdsmen financing. There's too many sectors that has been neglected and unattended to. Let's look at power, for example. We are literally at the mercy of distribution companies. The rates, the tariff they charge is ridiculous. You literally have to have your heart in your mouth. It is one thing to supply power and you want to top up and you can't even get it to work. For as long as 5 months, I've not used light from the discos. Not because I didn't want to, but because it doesn't work. Every time I try to load the stuff, it doesn't work. And you have a situation where, I remember when I was still living in the UK, you can always buy credit. If per adventure your life finishes in the middle of the night, you can always buy credit, and when you top up, they can take the credit out. Nothing of such works in this country. It's not just about whether we're prioritizing herdsmen over the doctors. It goes beyond that. A lot of accidents that were totally avoidable if we could just fix our roads. A lot of deaths that were avoidable if there was light even in the hospitals. There are times when the doctors are even on call, but people just die because of power outage.
Or they're under-equipped.
So it goes beyond the fact that, without a doubt, really, we're not trying to be nice or put it out nicely. There's no doubt that government does not care about the citizen and the life of people. I've lived in a developed country. I've had a situation to compare. And one thing I see is there's no love. Fundamentally, beneath everything is the lack of love for another human being. And it goes from even people on the streets, and that's how it cascades down to the government. People can see how hostile we are towards one another.
Exactly.
So they pass that same energy to us because they see how we treat ourselves. You can't go into a developed country. First, if you jump the queue, they're going to whip you in line very nicely. Someone is going to come here. People will defecate on the streets and everybody drive past. Nobody takes, there was a day I was driving and I saw a man driving like a mad person. I took the liberty to block him. But I thought for once, you're on your own, Damilola. Nobody shares this sentiment with you. We have a big problem of looking the other way when things are going wrong. That's where we have a priority misplaced.
That's how we go here.
We should be able to hold our government accountable. How we're going to do it, I haven't figured it out. But then let's identify the issues and then let's identify how we're going to fix them.
You know what? We need to take
It's not identifying the issue.
It's not like we do not have the issue. The reason we just narrowed it down to cattle versus striking doctor.
It's
because to reduce the headache. Because trust me, if we go by what you said, every sector
is
help.
Yes.
We'll take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll open our phone lines and we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Contrary to popular belief, Corona is not a hoax. The virus is real. Be responsible. Wear a mask. Wash your hands with soap and water and avoid crowded places. Maintain physical distancing. Be responsible. Together, we can overcome the pandemic.
If you just tune in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we are asking, where is our priority as a nation? Cattle or striking doctors? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. All right, our phone line is now open. Please, when you call, do turn off the volume of your television set and keep your conversation within a minute so we can have as many people contribute. So it's 07025007749. That's the number to call, 07025007749. So when you call, I would like to also hear your experience, if you've had any experience with the, what's it called, the government hospitals, you know, because I had a situation where my sister called me up one Sunday like that, and she said, please, do I know any doctor? And so I started the fine number. Apparently, this young lady had been diagnosed with cancer. They've been treating and everything. You won't believe that they couldn't find a bed space for her. So she was on the floor there with oxygen, and it was that was how the young lady died. And there are hundreds of people
that died like that
just died. I mean, I visited, where's one by Ikeja?
Yes.
That's last week, right?
Yes.
That's Lagos State Teaching Hospital.
My
heart was literally in my mouth.
I was subjected to being a guinea fowl.
I saw people taking, you could see the open sores, they just had an accident. They said, there's no, and the attitude to it, they don't even have emotions.
That's another thing that I
No, you don't even get my point. Because they are tired. What do you want them to do? You know, they do not have where to put you.
They want to help you, they take you home.
They can take you home.
I do not think that even the nurses,
leaders going to these hospitals, that is the what's it called, the federal hospitals that we have, the general hospitals, the commercial hospitals that everybody goes
to go to.
They will, I promise you, they will sit up and make sure everything works.
That's where,
but because they do not go to any of these hospitals, that's why their priorities are misplaced.
Yeah, so I hear you.
Their personal doctors that come to their homes to take care of them.
Someone was saying that if possible, that we need to ban our public officers from actually using medical facilities outside the country. That might be the only way
that will solve. But I don't think so. But
that would go a long way.
From Lagos, I believe, I think. Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, hello, how are you? Good evening.
Hi.
What are you saying?
Yes, you are. Franklin, thank you for calling.
Okay, I just want to contribute. It's quite worrisome at a time like this that we're talking about grazing much more than the striking doctors. But we're talking about lives here. I don't really understand when a government will take certain things seriously, because this singular action by the doctors is likely to cause much brain drain. Now that our doctors are moving in mass Saudi Arabia, before you know it, they'll start going to other countries and all that. And at the end of the day, we'll be left with fewer doctors to take care of people. And then we're so desperate. At the end of the day, we'll be paying much more for medicals. So at this point in time, the government needs to have a paradigm shift. Let them take the issue of the resident doctors seriously. Yeah. What do they want? What are they asking for? I mean, they should just sit at the round table and see how they can, sort it out.
Thank you.
Grazing, I don't really know why it should be a kind of priority, because to me, that's a private business. So sincerely, I mean, the government at this point in time just face their priority, which I think at this point in time has to do with health, coupled with the fact that we have a medical debacle that is rearing its ugly head, and it keeps getting worse. It keeps getting exacerbated over time. We have Delta variant. We don't know what we're going to have next. So I think the government, honestly speaking, whoever that is in charge, the Ministry of Health and all that, the Ministry of Labor, they should just do all within their ambit and see that they attend to the doctor's strike. You know, that's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Franklin. And this is where I wanted to, because you sometimes you need to be able to help people think, right? I do not say that, we haven't said that insecurity is not a problem. The security issues that we have in this country is a big issue. But you see, ranching has and forever will be a business, right? This ones, people do not have control over whether they're going to fall ill tomorrow.
Or not, or there's going to be an accident.
So if there's an opportunity as a government, like you rightly said about something about love, if you truly love your people, which are the sectors that are in dire need of help? Education is one of them, but we are not ready to go there.
We're not talking about
education. Health is one thing.
Health is
people
life.
That are alive that you
can govern over.
You know, but let me come to you, Elsie.
I mean, I agree that health is a big deal, but like I think you were the one who started from saying issues have compounded over the years, and you were saying something that I said I agreed with in terms of we have the culture of looking away, and we've done this for so long, like so long that we can't even begin to trace it back, and that's how we have gotten here. ASU goes on strike
repetitively,
you know,
becomes a norm.
And that is the same educational sector that would still provide the doctors that would end up taking care of the health sector. You know, that happens every time, but when it does not affect us directly, we are not really bothered. It is not a big deal.
Because their children are abroad, schooling.
It's not just about them. It's about we as a people. Now, for me, as far as I'm concerned, if the health sector is this bad, right, I'm very thankful. And this is not me removing myself from a situation because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, right? But I'm very thankful that I have not been able to experience what were just described, those gory vision, but that is the reality of a lot of people
every day,
right? That should be something that should make Nigerians be on the streets to say we need our health sector working. Even if they go back now and they say, oh, we'll pay the money, the court is telling them September 15th, if they don't, they will now resume the strike again or whatever that is supposed to mean. I don't understand it. If they go back, what are they working with? This is not just about the money. This is not just about the allowance. This is not just about the insurance. It's about the health sector as a whole. There is a tool or an equipment they are supposed to work with. You know, this culture of them. I don't know if you saw it going around on social media or in the news of this hitting
to check for vein.
It is not done anywhere in the world that is moving forward.
Oh my God, Nigeria is a
but
joke.
here you are sick. They will beat your life. They will beat you till that vein will come out. Somebody that is ill, and you cannot say no because vein must come out, right? But that's equipment. I think it's sold for, if I'm not I'm mistaken, so I'm not very sure, but it's either 75,000 or 750,000 because I know it's 75 something, right? But I think it's 750,000, and they're saying they cannot afford it in the hospitals in Nigeria. I'm also going to take this back to even the love you talked about in the health sector. We have private hospitals, right? If you know how much they pay doctors, you will be shocked that even the general hospitals pay better than private hospitals that are making
more money.
So I just got off the phone before we came on, and I hear that they pay them as low as 500 naira per hour. Please calculate it. We all went to school.
Okay, so let me take, while you're calculating, let me take from Angola, I believe, Banjide from Angola. Thank you for calling us. Okay, is it there? Hello? Banjide from Angola, did we lose the call?
That's a bit straight.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of calls from Angola, Uganda these days.
Yes.
You know, good stuff. While we're calculating, did we calculate that? How many hours is that?
If you do 8 hours a day, you probably earn like 120,000 in a month.
Per day now, if it's 8 hours times 5.
Horrible.
No. 500 naira.
Oh, 500 naira. That's
Did you get 5,000 naira? 500
naira. 5,000 naira.
500 naira, she said.
So the issues are
It touches deep.
The issues are deep.
Well, Let's talk about priorities again.
I hope we are not depressed, though. The way we are sounding.
we have hope.
If you do not connect with the art of the matter, how do you then understand the plight of the people? Particularly, we are all human. Just like your personal experience with last week, I had one that was gory. And what was it? I went to test for breast
cancer.
Just breast check.
To check
I
for
had
the
a bit
lumps,
of a pain in my boobs, and I needed to check breast. So, do you know what it subjected me to? After you've had to wait for hours.
Naturally.
Now you have to come as early as 5 a.m., 4 a.m. and get a time, and then you wait and wait it out. I probably didn't get to see a doctor till like 2 o'clock from the early morning I go into the hospital. It's a teaching hospital. And a live human being with concern, with pain, is your test apparatus. It's most inhuman.
Dehumanizing.
They made me feel like they subjected me to checks in the presence of at least, I think, about 10
And you don't have
students.
an option. That's the annoying part.
And you cannot, I'm wondering what the heck is going on here.
Hold that.
You don't understand. You don't understand where you are in pain, and because you are in pain, mine is even subtle. Imagine someone going through a severe pain, and you had to tell one person check, another person check. And they were pressing and having a...
Okay, so hold that thought. Banjida is back from Angola. Thank you for calling.
Oh, my country.
I wanted to come back to you. I'll come back to you on that.
Gosh.
Oh,
Banjida, are you there?
I'm there.
Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yes, I'm there. Okay, thank you.
He needs to turn
good evening.
of his TV set.
Can I go ahead?
Please go ahead. You're live. We can hear you.
Yes, I'm live with you guys there. Please, I'm outside the country, but we are not happy with what is going on there in the country. At times we feel ashamed to answering the name Nigeria outside here. We feel ashamed because there is nothing give us joy in that country again. Nothing give us joy in that country again. Imagine a country that citizens cannot be able to protest again.
Thank you, Bamijide. We have to cut you off because when you keep hearing yourself, you cause a delay, and it's the lag also affects the timing. But thank you. I think I get that point. A lot of people bear that sentiment. For what we have, we shouldn't be where we are. I was going to say to you that in developed countries, there are cases where you would actually go into a teaching hospital and they actually bring students into that place, but they do it on your permission. You actually need to sign up to say a consent that you are agreeing to that.
From one student doctor
to be pressing,
to another one is totally ridiculous.
Well, he had something to say.
Should I say, most of our leaders, like we had the last guest talk about, 2 guests back talk about, that most of our leaders lack emotional intelligence. And because of this, we have turned into a jungle in Nigeria. And indeed, Nigeria is becoming every day like a jungle. Now, it is like the survival of the fittest. And who is the fittest? Those that are on top. If you're not able to measure up or meet up with everything that is currently happening, that means that you will be...
You're the unfit.
You're the unfit. And in that process, nobody wants to be unfit. Look at the situation whereby we had the senator earning about 1.5 million for sitting allowance in the Senate. And we have doctor's hazard allowance, 5,000 naira, which is totally ridiculous.
So that's where we're asking, where do you place the priority?
Priorities, like I said, I'm still on the priorities. It's totally misplaced. So I'm giving you the, just opposing both of them for you to understand that we are not meeting up the demands of the people, and our priorities are totally misplaced. Look at the fact that we also look at the ranching system in Nigeria. We have talked about this grazing over and over. We've even flogged it to the extent that it's mind-blowing. But where are the cattle and the animals are human beings not supposed to supersede the animals? But here we talk about the animals time in, time out, every day, about the fact that the ranching
should be allowed to open
the ranchers should be allowed, or why am I calling them ranchers? Herders should be allowed to take the animals to wherever they want to go, including grazing the food that we human beings are supposed to eat.
Well, they haven't said that. They haven't said that. So let us be careful, because they have said that. That's why they are actually carving out
that they should go
places.
They should go in. They should go in. Now, when the herders go into a location, what do? They tell them, oh, I want my cattle to go into this place. And when you say no, it becomes a tug of war.
So the reason we even brought up this comparison was the amount of money that was earmarked to Katsina State alone. This is just Katsina State. We do not know what other states, what the government is going to allocate to other states. Katsina State is getting 6.9 billion on cattle ranching. What happened to other states? That's one. Number two, these doctors, remember what the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctor President said? That when you say that you have earmarked, or you have assigned, or you have allocated. Allocated is not direct to, I have paid.
Access. They have access.
Do you understand? Have they accessed some of these funds?
The funds.
So if we say we are a people and we are genuine in our actions, it should also show in where we have placed priority. We are just, the reason for even this conversation tonight is just to help, what's it called? Try to shake up the minds of this our government. Let us believe that there's still some level of conscience inside of them. That when you are doing certain things, I want you to think for a second that if this were my daughter, she's working in a hospital, there's no light, there's nothing. Or this is my son, he's working in a hospital, he's exposed to all manner of, what's it called, infectious diseases. Would I allow him work there?
Definitely not.
We can't keep having all our best minds leaving the country.
Just because the country does not cater.
And somebody mentioned, who mentioned the fact that, oh, if they are forced to stay back to get treated in our hospitals, things will change. What gives? What gives? What eventually will happen is what we see all the time in Nigeria. There will be a special room in that hospital that is only for what's it called? For government officials.
That would be very dangerous for them, because I feel like if they can feel the, you know, sometimes when something begin to work, possibly a road has been very bad, and until one of their person gets stopped there before you realize that, oh, something needs to be done. It's happened in different areas. So if they don't experience it, they probably, somebody came out, was it last week? I can't remember who now, saying there is nothing wrong with our hospitals. I don't know if people saw that news. And it's supposed to be your leader. He was saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with our hospitals. There's no hospital you go into and that you not get treatment.
You'll be all right.
And I was wondering how. But for the money you were talking about.
You know what? Hold on. Let me quickly take Mrs. Williams. She's holding. I think she'll be our last caller for today. Mrs. Williams, you're live. Thank you for calling from Ibadan.
You're not asking me.
Sorry. We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I want to learn. Okay. In fact, the senior scale, I almost met. When I saw many people from living in camp in Nigeria, what happened to them now? That they had to live in camp. I could not believe it. I thought it was the last of the young. I never believed that this is happening to my country. But there's a lot of people are living in camps in different states. What happened to their own land? It was my own life. I could not believe it. I just could not believe it. I wonder why we just kept so power to Nigeria and this is happening.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. I didn't get so much. You were talking about yam or something.
I didn't get that. But I think Ms. Williams is one of our first female callers.
Oh, really, for today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, you were going to say something about money. I think she was talking about people using yam to feed the cattle. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I wanted to mention from what I saw in the news regarding the funds that you're supposed to release. Again, this fund is not even, as far as I'm concerned, it is not the main issue. But the budgetary people are saying that they have that's residency training fund outstanding for 2020 is 617,421,000. 670 million basically.
So let's just put that 600 million to 600 million for sniffer dog.
4 billion.
Okay.
Right? And this money, like I said earlier, was contained in the 2021 supplementary budget, which the president signed on the eve of his departure to the UK
for medical treatment
and medical checkup. So they now need to start processing it since it has just been signed and all. And it's just so ridiculous.
So long.
Sniffer dog. Do you hear what will happen to that sniffer dog in the future?
Please take your message. We ran out of time.
Nigeria.
Oh my God. Let me take, I think we
they
have
know how
Ade.
to break one's heart. I can take mine?
Go ahead
okay.
quickly.
It says, good evening, ladies. I share the view that it's not about prioritizing cattle, but the failure of government in every sector in Nigeria. We have become laughingstock even amongst African countries. It's a pity. They didn't, there's no name here though.
Okay, so good evening, ladies. Or you can download Spotify for free. This will give you an unlimited music of any type and artist of your choice. It can only cost you internet and data. All right, thank you, Ade. It says doctor strike is legal, while House of Assembly should come up with a law to restrict government officials from using public funds and assets for their self-interest or enjoyment. The government officials don't respect citizens who vote them into power. Well, this is what we always say all the time when we talk about issues like this, but we're just asking priorities. Should we go back? What do you think? Where do you think we are?
There's no doubt that we do not prioritize what's important. And we're somewhat unbothered. When you put out all this, the only concern for me is where do we go from here? It's not enough to talk about the issues. What is going to happen after now? Because beyond the hula baloo and the big conversations we throw out, who gets to hear them and who gets to act on them? We really don't have control over it. What I just fear is that we're going towards self-destruct as a country. And unfortunately, when an aircraft is already going through turbulence and it is going to fall, there's nothing that is going to stand in its way from crashing. Perhaps when we crash land, it might be severe, depends on how much damage we do to our system. Maybe, but unfortunately, both the guilty and the innocent get to bear the brunt. Because what we're generating as a country, I always go back to my line of national karma, is worrisome. And like I mentioned, we as a citizen, we have become complacent. We've become accustomed to the level of decadence in our system. We talk about it, but then where do we go from here?
You know what? So where we will go from here, let me just quickly wrap it up because we ran out of time, is we're hoping that somebody is listening and somebody will begin to do the right thing. It just takes one person to say, you know what, from today, we'll start to do the right thing.
What about the four of us sitting here?
We're already doing the right thing by talking about it.
We're talking about
it. Thank you, Elsie Godwin. Thank you, Isi Ofodele. Thank you, Milola. We had a fantastic conversation, but it is food for thought for every single one of you. Please, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand and following the conversation. Do else follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, and invite families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. If you missed today's quote from Stephen Covey, here it is again. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but schedule your priorities. It's very important. Very, very important. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
The United States military is getting out of Afghanistan.
It's up to the Afghans to make the decision about the future of their country.
Concern about the impact the withdrawal will have on the lives of Afghans.
At least 5 media stations, private media outlets that